everyone. Welcome you all in the second session of day 2 of our online workshop, online STTP on optimal operation of power system incorporating renewable energy sources, which is an STTP which is funded by AICTE. So today we are fortunate to have Dr. Professor Chetan Sankhi sir with us. I just would like to welcome you, sir, and give you a brief description of yourself. Professor Dr. Chetan Singh Solanki is the principal investigator, National Center for Photovoltaic Research and Education, that is NCPRE, and principal investigator of solar localization of sustainable energy. Sir is famous as Solar Man of India. Besides being a professor at Department of Energy Science and Engineering, IIT Bombay, Sir is also an educator, innovator, researcher, entrepreneur, author, philosopher, who is known for his remarkable work in the solar sector. Professor Solanki was born in a small village called Nemit in Khargon district of Madhya Pradesh. His primary school had just one classroom and a teacher at that time. Having studied in the light of kerosene lamp himself, Professor Solanki is now committed to providing clean light to all. He received his PhD from IMEC Catholic University, Belgium, a leading R&D and innovation hub in micro and nanoelectronics. He is currently leading 2 projects of national importance on the dissemination of affordable solar technology. The National Center for Photovoltaic Research and Education houses one of the best research facilities on photovoltaics technology in India. It is funded by MNRE, Government of India, to provide R&D and education support for India ambitious 100 gigawatt solar is one of the principal investigator at the center. So, investigator in the solar urja through localization for sustainability (SOULS) project at IIT Bombay, which aims to provide solar study lamp to every child in rural India as a part of its Right to Light mission. He also started Game Solutions Private Limited, organization and economic renewable energy systems by developing and nurturing a network of entrepreneurs. Initiative at social front as well. Education Park, an initiative in school education to provide high quality and affordable education and training in rural India. Education Park has been built through the public support with you and on YouTube Live, and more than 700-800 viewers are connected to our channel.
So let me share my screen with you. See my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, yeah. So once again, thanks a lot, and it is really my pleasure to be able to talk to all of you on this topic on how we should have a new look at the energy and the sustainability. Because whatever the current knowledge or practices that we have, it is really not making enough sense, and the world is heading towards the major and catastrophic global warming. What we do today is try to sense that as a human, we have great science to the moon, technologies, and we can develop a communication network. All kind of things we do, and therefore we tend to believe that we know a lot. But before that, I would like to share a small, not story, but a story that I hope Rishi Ved Vyas, right? So Ved Vyas was very fond of learning, acquiring the knowledge, and what he did is he actually did a kind of tapasya. And, Mother Nature was happy with him. So the Mother Nature came and asked, tell me what you want. Then Rishi Vyas said, I want knowledge. I want a lot of knowledge. So Mother Nature took Rishi Vyas and to in front of a big mountain of knowledge and asked Rishi Vyas, take whatever you want. And so Rishi Vyas actually could just grab as much as he could from his both hands, and he could only get the 4 big books, and those big books. So 4 Ved is what he entire the mountain of the knowledge. Within those 4 Vedas, it is said that in order to read a Ved, you need 12 years just to read a Ved. And if you really want to learn a Ved, you need 120 years. And that's only one of them, and there are 4 of them. The point that I want to bring to that, know nothing. Or the knowledge that we have as a human of the science nature is tiny knowledge as compared to the actual knowledge that encompasses the whole universe. We should really be aware about this and really not boast ourselves. And I'm going to show you why I'm saying this and how, as a human ourselves, we are creating problem for ourselves. So what I'm going to do is I will bring you a sense of the world that we are living in and what is happening in terms of the energy in our life, the major driver of life, how the energy is related to climate change, and how a new understanding of the energy and sustainability in the form of energy Swaraj is required. All right, so let me start. Niti or anybody, if there is any problem at any time, do let me know. If there is any question also, you do let me know.
The question we'll be taking in last. So we'll be taking question in last 15 minutes from 2 to 2:15, and I'll let you know. Thank you, sir.
So this is the image of a universe, and what you see here is the galaxies, of various galaxies are there, and there are millions of galaxies in our universe, and one of the galaxies, our galaxy, which looks something like this, the Milky Way. So the Milky Way looks like this, and within the Milky Way there are millions and millions of stars, and only one star is ours, that we call Sun. I do not know how many of you can recognize where is the Sun in this entire galaxy. Many times people point that the center of this galaxy is the Sun, but that is wrong. Our Sun is somewhere at the down, a small tiny dot. So in the entire galaxy of millions and millions of stars, we have only one Sun, and around the Sun, there are many planets that are revolving. And one tiny planet is ours, that is Earth. You see how small the Earth is as compared to the Sun. It's 109 times smaller. So when it is 109 times smaller, you can imagine how tiny we are on this planet. So there is a very thin blue layer you can see here where the human life is possible. In this thin blue layer, only the human life is possible. So you can imagine now in the universe of the billions and billions of stars and galaxies and the planets, there is only a very thin blue layer where humans can exist or any other form of life can exist as far as we know. So this blue layer has to be very, very precious space for us because there is no other place in the entire universe where you can get this. Even if you spend $100 billion, and try to get the space which has such a beautiful, well-balanced temperature, oxygen, air, you will not be able to create such a space. So it's a very, very precious space. It used to be, it is no more similar to this. There used to be beautiful trees, flora and fauna. There used to be a very dense forest. And there used to be a beautiful rivers, nice clean rivers where you could actually take water, drink water anytime. and there used to be a nice fertile soil where you could grow without any fertilizer. This used to be our nature, our planet where we are living in. What happened period of time that we have learned, especially after 1850, we have learned how to use fossil energy. And this fossil energy use has given us opportunity to do more things, travel faster, run more machines, run bigger machines, run our cars, bus, trains, etc. So it has become our driver of our life, rightly so, because this is the image where there are 17 sustainable development goals are kind of listed from 1 to 7, and each goal is related to one particular target. So goal number 1, SDG 1 is about poverty, SDG 2 is about hunger, SDG 3 about is the healthy lives, and so on. And in the center of all this thing is there is a sustainable development goal of energy. So the energy is such an important driving force of our life that every aspect of our life, whether it is poverty, hunger, health, education, gender, economies, infrastructure, everything has a relationship with energy. Even the peace is also related to energy. Goal number 6 related to energy. And goal number 13 here, the sustainable, the climate change is also related to energy. Is that every other form of social and economic indicator has a positive correlation with energy. So if you increase your energy consumption, that particular economic indicator also increases. But the bad news is that the goal number 13 and goal number 7, the climate change is exactly opposite of the energy goal. In energy, we are trying to provide modern energy to all, sufficient energy to all, reliable energy to all. But in goal number 13, if you consume more energy, you are going to do the damage to the pollution, to the environment. So these are the two opposite directions. And how do we find a balance between these two? One side, we want to decrease energy consumption because there's a climate change. 80%, by the way, of energy that we consume comes from the fossil energy. On the other hand, we want to consume more and more energy because energy consumption drives my social and economic growth, and they are opposite direction. And how do we find a solution to that? And why should we find a solution to that? Because there is a major problem if we do not do that. This is the carbon dioxide concentration in the atmosphere plotted for the last 1000 years. Okay, you can see here the carbon dioxide concentration in the atmosphere used to be around 280 parts per million, and it used to be like this for hundreds and thousands of years. It has not changed major. But since 1850 here, you see that suddenly the growth in the carbon dioxide concentration in the atmosphere has started rising, and it is rising very, very fast, and it is exponential growth. This exponential growth is not good because you know that the carbon dioxide is a greenhouse effect. It's a greenhouse gas and causes the greenhouse effect. And because of the greenhouse effect, the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is doing the global warming. And right now, the global warming is of 1 degree centigrade, right? And 1 degree centigrade itself is a big, big number. We may feel that, okay, in the temperature goes to 10, 15 degree, and in the summer it goes to 45, 46 degree. So therefore, what is the big deal of 1 degree centigrade? But 1 degree centigrade itself is a causing major damage to the life on the planet, and I'll show you more details. So 1 degree it is all increase, and people have been all over the world has been telling that, look, we need to limit the global warming to 1.5 degrees centigrade. We should increase this global warming level beyond 1.5 degrees. is plotted in 2017, and as per this, it used to tell us that we will reach 1.5 degrees centigrade in somewhere to 2040. Another maybe 20 years from now, 15 years from now. There are more reports which have come which says that no, the 1.5 degree centigrade temperature will reach in another 10 years. But very recently, the report has come from the WMO, the World Meteorological Organization, which says that there is a 20% chance that one of the next 5 years will be at least 1.5 degrees centigrade warmer than the pre-industrial levels. And the chance is increasing with time. So this is a very, very serious thing that is happening. And I think most of the people are not aware about it. Most means 99% people are not aware what it means to have the global warming, what it means that we are going to get 1.5 degrees centigrade soon within 5 years. And the current status of the climate change as per the United Nations Forum for Climate Change, UNFCCC report that came last year, it says it is on. Okay, the global warming is continuously, even though there and 2015, all countries should start decreasing the CO2 concentration in the atmosphere by decreasing the consumption of carbon, which means by decreasing the consumption of petrol, diesel, kerosene, coal, LPG. In the atmosphere is increasing. And the current CO2 has reached to around 415 parts per million. 415. So it is not going down, rather it is increasing, and it has reached to a level where it is 50% more than the pre-industrial era. 50% more, big number, right? I think that 50% is a major change. All of your height decreases 50%, will you get affected? Or your height increases by 50%, will you get affected? Yes. So there is the 50% change in the carbon. Not only that.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Your voice is not audible properly.
How is it?
Yes, sir. Yes, now it is better.
What I'm saying is there is something called Earth Overshoot Day. Not only that we are consuming more fossil fuels, but we are also consuming more and more other resources, whether it is water, air, soil, forest. So this is measured by what is called Earth Overshoot Day. That whatever resources Earth could generate in 1 year, how many days humans takes to consume those resources. So if whatever resources are generated in 1 year, if I'm consuming in 1 year, then my Earth Overshoot Day will come on December 31st. Basically, my generation and consumption will be in balance. But if I'm consuming resources before that, then my Earth Overshoot Day come earlier. So this chart shows you that how the human population is consuming more and more resources, and Earth Overshoot Day coming earlier and earlier. And in 2019, by the way, the Earth Overshoot Day came itself in July itself, in about 27 July. Which means that all the resources we are consuming by the end of month of July, and the rest of the months we are overutilizing the resources. Or it is not wrong to say that we are stealing the resources from the future generation. Why we are stealing? Because let's say water table is going down, right? Everyone knows that water. Why it is going down? Because we have learned how to water, but we have not learned how to put the water back in. As a result of that, water table is going down, cover is going down. So numbers. This is the number on the what is happening to the various resources available per capita. So per capita land has gone down, per capita agricultural land has gone down, per capita forest has gone down, per capita fresh water has gone down in the last 20 years itself. 20 years itself. So it is very clear that we are consuming the resources which is beyond our limit, and as a result of that, we are disturbing the climate and the environment around us. So much so that it is a catastrophic day. What are the events? For example, this is the image of the forest fire that were there in the Amazon last year, and not only in the Amazon, also in the Australia, and lakhs and lakhs of square kilometers of area got burned, and around 500 to 1,000 million animals died in these forest fires. This is a place. This is an image of a Venice in Italy, which was a beautiful city of the canals. But last year, it got flooded, not because there was a heavy kind of rains, but the sea water came in. Important city. This is an image of a cold continent of a. And we know Europe for the snowfalls and the cold weather, but in the last year there was a heat wave, and the temperatures in one of the city in France has gone up to 45.8 degrees centigrade. So you see, cold country 45.8 degrees centigrade, and we know how much is a 45 degrees centigrade. And on the opposite, this is an image of a desert. There is a desert in the Dubai and around area. This area got a snowfall. This is a desert area, but it's a high temperature. Typically, it got a snowfall. You can imagine how events have changed. And this is the image of our Delhi. And the smog was there. The air quality was poor for a very, very long time in Delhi. You could not see people properly. That is how the situation that is taking place on our planet Earth. Why it is happening? Because we are consuming the fossil energy in a big way. And this is one of the situation of a traffic jam in Gurgaon area. Look at the number of cars that are there. And this is a very common kind of scenario that takes place. The jams very common in the country and in the world everywhere. So basically, we have not understood the sustainability. We have not understood what should be the and how energy consumption should happen. And therefore, I would like to bring your attention to about energy and the sustainability. So, what is sustainability? I mean, we have been talking about the sustainability for many, many decades. Sorry if everything is all right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Many decades, there are lots of conferences on sustainability. There are sustainable development goals are there. Many of us talk it, but I don't think we have ever understood the sustainability in the right sense. And I gave example earlier that we have become all kind of a parrots. हमारे यहाँ तोते को सिखा देते हैं कि call tell Shri Ram. So it will keep saying Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Shri Ram without really understanding what it means. Same thing we do not understand. And one of the basic fundamental of sustainability is that your consumption has to be equal to the generation. You cannot disturb this balance, and if you disturb this balance, we are going to suffer like anything. And Gandhiji actually put it very nicely. Gandhiji said that we may utilize the gifts of the nature just as we choose, but her books, the details are always the debits are always equal to the credits, and there is no balance in either column. There is absolutely no way you can create debits and credits in terms of the nature. So you have to be in balance with the nature. You have to consume the resources which are available. You cannot consume more. You cannot store it. That is not possible. He went on saying and describing it further. He said that I suggest that we are thieves in a way. हम सब लोग चोर हैं. Why? Because if you are taking that I do not need for my own immediate use and keep it, I thieve it. I thieve it from someone else. I venture to suggest that it is the fundamental law of nature. And without exception, the nature produces enough for our wants from day to day. And if only everybody took enough for himself and nothing more, there will not be any pauperism in the world. There will not be any poverty in the world. There would be no more dying of starvation in the world. But so long as we have got this inequality, so long as we are thieving. जब तक दुनिया में असमानता रहेगी तब तक इसका मतलब है कि हम चोरी कर रहे हैं. तो ये सस्टेनेबिलिटी के खिलाफ है. गांधी जी ने कहा कि दिस इज द फंडामेंटल लॉ ऑफ नेचर. गांधी जी वाज नॉट अ साइंटिस्ट, he was not Einstein, he was not Newton, he could not make a law ki first law of Newton, second law of Newton, third law of Newton. No, he did not do that. But I think he understand the life and he understand the nature more than anybody else. Result of that, he could actually tell this very beautiful, very strong message. He said that earth provides enough to satisfy every man's need, but not every man's greed. He cannot satisfy our greed because greed has absolutely no limit. So then, are we satisfying only our needs or we are greedy? And if you look at what is happening in the world, it is very clear that we definitely not satisfying our needs only. Given a chance, I can spend as much money as I want if I have it. Given a chance, I can use as much as water if I can do that. Given a chance, I can buy 3 cars, 4 cars. Given a chance, I can actually buy a bigger house and keep 3 flats for me. Given a chance, I would overuse my resources. And he said, no, that's not possible. Nature cannot do that. Nature cannot do that. It's impossible. And therefore, we can call this as the first fundamental law of sustainability, that we do not understand the sustainability. And the first thing, if you really want to put in terms of the words, I would put it as the first fundamental law of sustainability. And why it is so? Look, everything is finite in this world, right? Air is finite. It's not infinite air that you have. The water is finite. The land is finite. The soil is finite. Forest is finite. Everything. And if everything is finite, there has to be finite consumption. You cannot do in unlimited consumption. And therefore, law of sustainability can be written as, in an ecosystem of finite resources, there can only be a finite consumption. You are actually not putting the limit on your consumption, you are blatantly violating this law. And if you are going to violate this law, you are going to suffer, your children are going to suffer majorly. So how our idea of sustainability is screwed up is actually is clear from this example. So last year, when the economy was slowing down, India Today has published this article called The Crash of 2019. It said that the auto industry is in the midst of severe slump and the policy intervention to revive the sector and economy at large are necessary to stave off protracted crisis. बहुत लंबा क्राइसिस को बचाना है तो कुछ करना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि है and we are not able to utilize it. So that used to be a big problem for the world and for the economy and for the India, that so many products are manufactured but not utilized, not sold. The world told we tell us that there is a crisis. I said, okay, what? So what is a crisis? We do not even actually understand. So what is having a car not sold is a crisis? Having a car not sold is a crisis? Or having a car sold is a crisis? Current modern capitalist view will tell us that having a car not sold is a crisis. But the true understanding of the sustainability will tell us that having a car sold is a crisis. So right now, the 99.99% people in the world have a very screwed idea of what sustainability is. Because every time you manufacture a car, you sell a car, you are creating 10 other problems. You are ensuring that there's a climate change, you are ensuring that there's a pollution, you are ensuring that there's inequity, you are ensuring that because of the inequity, there is a violence in the world. You're ensuring that one community, one country dominates over other because only few people have the energy supply. You're ensuring that there is a inequity in the world. So we have very, very wrong understanding. So the Gandhiji told us very clearly. He said, in Harijan, he has written in 1934, he said that I would categorically state my conviction that the mania of mass production is responsible for the world crisis. Not in favor of the mass production. And he said, ये जो पागलपन है, ये जो mass production का पागलपन है, दुनिया की सारी समस्याओं का जड़ वही है. Because whenever we produce mass, we create a lot of problems. We do the mass production. What in fact, he gave a solution also. He said, when the production and consumption both become localized, temptation to speed up production indefinitely and at any price disappears. All the endless difficulties and the problems that the economic system presents too would then disappear. All kinds of problems because we have temptation to produce more. और produce more हो गया तो consume more. Consume more हो गया तो earn more. And if you do all of this thing, pollute more, grab more. These are all problems that we create by because we go by this mass production. So Gandhiji said, no, that's not a great idea. What a great idea? He said, not the mass production, but production by masses is required. To produce in masses, one big factory, one big power plant is producing electricity for us, and it is therefore creating problems. So production by masses is required. Why? Because mass production always lead to unequal distribution. Therefore, and also people are living in distributed manner. Everybody is not, living on top of crazy people who are living in 50-story tall building. Most of the people actually live in a distributed manner. As a result of that, your energy needs are distributed. As a result of that, you can actually have distributed generation of energy. And that is the best thing you can do. So therefore, we can call a second fundamental law of sustainability as, in an ecosystem of finite resources, there can only be distributed production. And therefore, the big question is, can energy needs of our daily needs can also be fulfilled by distributed production? The answer is yes, and I have been doing many projects in IIT, and we have been demonstrating how we can actually have the distributed production. And there is a project that we have done called Solar Urja through Localization for Sustainability, SOLS project. Many of would be aware about the project. What we thought is, instead of centralizing the solution, why cannot we decentralize the solution? For example, recently the Madhya Pradesh, the government has inaugurated this 750 megawatt power plant, right? Solar power plant in Riva. All of you must be aware. Prime Minister has inaugurated that plant. And one of the officer called me and asked me, Professor Solanki, why don't you write an article about it? So I told that person that, okay, don't ask me to write this article. Why? Because I'm not going to write nice things about this. He said, why? Why are you saying it is not nice? I said, look, putting a 750 megawatt plant is a good thing, but it is not a great thing. Why? Because 750 megawatt plant, one place, you have to still distribute the electricity, you have to still use the transmission lines, distribution lines, transformer, maintenance, losses, all kind of things will happen. Also, by putting a plant at a central level, you have given a contract to 1 to 3 people. All the benefit of installation will go to 3 people and their shareholders. On the other end, 750 megawatt, if you install 1 kilowatt plant on every rooftop, you would actually do 750,000 plants. And 750,000 plants, you would have required a lot of people. You would have given jobs. The distribution losses would be avoided, and we would created our energy locally, and we have created a more better solar ecosystem for people. So therefore, putting a 750 megawatt plant is a good thing, but it is definitely not the great thing. And that is the problem of the world, and that we can solve by involving the local community in assembly of the solar product, or solar solution installation, repair, maintenance, everything can be done by locals. Or there is a big question whether it can be done by the locals, and that is a question we have been asking. And answer is yes, and I'll show you the examples. That is, we have trained about 10,000 women in various states like Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Assam, Jharkhand, Odisha, and kind of training for identifying the component, the battery, the panel, the circuits, doing the soldering, and finding out where the fault is, and then they could actually do the assembly of the solar lamps. And when you assemble the solar lamps, earn money. Not only that, we have also taught them. Excuse me. We also taught them how to do the entire wiring of the house. You can actually put your entire house and make it run it on. Not only that, we have also enabled them to set up a module manufacturing plant, and there are a couple of them now in the country. These are the plants which are 2 megawatt module manufacturing plant, owned and operated by women. The women actually do all kind of work here. The CEO of this factory is who is just 8th pass, but she takes care of the entire plant. In fact, today after this, there are 3 o'clock. I have the board meeting of this factory where we are going to discuss the policies for the factory for the next year. So basically, what this that we can actually do it, we can decentralize the solution, and we have done it at a very big scale, where we can say that it is not a pilot project anymore. It is actually much beyond than the pilot project. So we have done this in the 10th state, as I have shown here. About 40,000 villages have taken part in this. 346 blocks of the sub-district. We have implemented this project. More than 10,000 people have trained. And once we train them, what we also do that is we open a repair center. So there are repair centers that have started. Not only that, beyond the assembly of the product, they also go and start what is called the solar marts or the solar shops. So there are solar shops that are started by more than 1,000. So there are nearly 1,000 solar shops that are running in the country right now. These shops are owned and operated by women. They procure them and they earn about. The good thing is all this investment is their own, and also there is no subsidy is utilized in buying and selling this product. So it is all done completely in the market mechanism. And this is in a nutshell what I wanted to tell you, that look, this is how it is. That is how it should be done. Sustainability has to be understood, and energy has to be also understood, and it has to be decentralized. And based on this and my 20 years of work in the solar field, after writing many books, after doing many projects, after traveling around the world, last year I was traveling around the world and doing this major project where we reached to the millions of families, I realized that the energy is a major driver for life, but energy is also a major culprit in the climate change, and we need to solve the energy problem. If at all we need to do something, and the energy solution would not lie in putting a big power plants, it would lie in decentralizing the energy. And when we decentralize, like Gandhiji told about the gram swaraj, we decentralize the solution, we can think of energy swaraj, right? A local people can generate and distribute and consume their own energy. So what is energy swaraj? Energy swaraj is a scenario where locals generate and consume their own energy needs using local renewable energy sources. So local energy sources should be utilized, and who will do that? Local people will do that. Who will consume? Local people will consume. What kind of resources? Local resources. So when we localize entire production, generation, consumption of the energy, then we achieve the energy storage. Now the next question is it really possible? Can we do that? Is the technology feasible? Is it economically viable? Is it environmentally friendly? Can we institutionally do it or socially accept it? So there are major misconceptions many people have about the solar energy, and if you go to this YouTube channel, Solar News and Knowledge, where I'm putting a lot of information about this solar news and knowledge. If you go there, I have also made a series of videos clarifying the misconception that people have. So is the technology feasible today? Yes, 100%. There's all kind of thing. People have put 750 megawatt plant. So each one of your need can definitely be generated. Is it economically viable? Answer is very much yes. Cost of solar electricity could be as cheap as 2.5 to 3.5 rupees, which is cheaper than the bill that you are paying. Or if you add battery inside your system, the cost of solar electricity may be 5 rupees, 6 rupees, 7 rupees, which is still in competition with the bill that each one of you pay level. And industries pay actually bigger bill, 8 rupees a unit, 9 rupees a unit, 10 rupees a unit. So solar is definitely economically viable. It is definitely environmentally friendly. And you can, if you go by local for local, you can locally do it also. And definitely solar has been acceptable socially. For energy, Swaraj is energy by local for local, and created a foundation that is called Energy Swaraj Foundation to establish Energy Swaraj everywhere. By the way, some of you may know last year there was a global level competition organized by IEEE. I'm sure many of you know what is IEEE. IEEE is a very reputed organization. And in this organization, they organize a competition called Empowering Billion Lives. How we can empower billion people on the planet. And what has happened is we have taken part in this competition. It was a global competition. 450 teams from all continents. There are 5 different levels of competition. We were the winner in the South Asia region, and also we were the winner in the global region. So in the global competition, we got the first prize, and we got the prize of $100,000. Have you ever heard of $100,000 in India? We got it. I got it, and I have donated this money, about 70 lakh rupees. And from the donated money, we founded this Energy Swaraj Foundation. So what is the role of Energy Swaraj Foundation? Is to establish Energy Swaraj everywhere in the world. Now, before we go and establish Energy Swaraj, I think it's very important that we follow the right approach. Otherwise, we are going to make the same mistake once again. What should be our approach when we want to establish Energy Swaraj? We should follow what I call AMG approach. What is AMG? A is avoid use of energy even if it is a solar energy. Use of energy even if it is solar energy, because solar energy also do not have zero carbon footprint. What it means that production of solar panel, the production of the glass, production of the frame, production of the structure, production of the cable, installation, transmission, everything requires energy. So if you say that I have 4 air conditioner in my house, but I'm running on solar, and I have a job, that is wrong. 4 air conditioner putting on solar if because your money is not a great job, because in Hindi में एक कहावत है कि 900 चूहे खा के बिल्ली हज को चली. You already damage the environment so much, and now you say that I'm using solar. Does it make sense? No. So first principle is avoid use of solar energy even if it is solar energy. And if you do that, 1/3 of your energy requirement can reduce easily, just 1/3. My house, we do not have any air conditioner. We never put it. We do not have refrigerator. We do not have washing machine. We do not use geyser, and we do not use microwave. So all this energy which are easily avoidable, we do not use. So I live in Mumbai, and my per month energy consumption is about 60 to 70 units only. That's it. I can live with that. Can I further reduce the 60 to 70 units of consumption and lesser? Answer is yes. What you do is go to the M. M is minimize the use of energy. How do we minimize the use of energy? There are very efficient appliances that are available today, like efficient LED, efficient fans are available right now. The typical fan use 60 watt, 70 watt. But there are DC fans are available which would use 25 watt only, right? So almost 1/3 of energy you can reduce. LED TVs, there are very efficient 5-star rated refrigerator. There are all kind of appliances are available which are much more efficient, will consume less energy in running. So 1/3 energy you can avoid, 1/3 energy you can minimize, and the remaining 1/3 energy you can generate. So if you follow this principle, there is a energy that is required to be generated, and therefore everyone can afford it without using any subsidy, without using any policy. So you should follow AMG principle, and if you do not do that, there will be, you have to say OMG, oh my god, solar is expensive, oh my god, my rooftop is not enough, oh my god, efficiency is less, oh my god, this, oh my god, that. All kind of excuses will come if you do not follow the AMG principle. And therefore, let us adopt this and establish energy Swaraj, be independent. Be independent means surrender electricity connection. That is what the motto of our organization. We are asking people to surrender electricity connection. By the way, the organization that I'm sitting right now, I'm in Madhya Pradesh. I just came yesterday. This organization campus and everything, all electricity that I'm using runs from solar. There is no electricity connection taken to this campus. This is in Khargon district, Bikangam. And there are many more people now who are coming forward and willing to surrender electricity connection, go 100% on solar. So I believe that if you do that, there are lots of benefits. The whole world will become sustainable. We will create a lot of jobs for the people. Local economy will become stronger. We will bring energy independence. You will be energy dependent. Your society, your government will be energy dependent. Your country will be energy independent, which is a big thing. We will create a skill in the local people. We will give them confidence, and will bring energy discipline. So there are many benefits to achieve the energy Swaraj. So as I said, last year I went for a Gandhi Global Solar Yatra. I went around the world, 30 countries I visited, and not only that, we have organized a training program where 9.25 lakh students got a training to make their own solar lamp. And this program is continuing. We will do it again this year, and you can actually take part in this. What I'm also done is I have taken a leave from my job from IIT Bombay. So I'm on an unpaid leave right now. And what I'm going to do is, it is very clear that the governments around the world, or the policymakers around the world, will not be able to do the justice and mitigate the climate change. ये किसी सरकार के बस की बात नहीं है कि वो इतनी जल्दी से पॉलिसी बना ले कि वो क्लाइमेट चेंज को बचने होने से बचा ले, और हमारी फ्यूचर जनरेशन बहुत ज़्यादा सफ़र करने वाली है. तो एक आम आदमी को ही इसमें कूदना पड़ेगा. एंड देयरफॉर वी नीड सम काइंड ऑफ एनर्जी स्वराज मूवमेंट. एक एनर्जी स्वराज आंदोलन की जरूरत है जिसमें हर व्यक्ति गर्व के साथ सोलर एनर्जी को अपनाए. और इसको प्रमोट करने के लिए मैं एक यात्रा करने वाला हूँ 11 साल की, 2020 से 2030 तक. हम ये जो सोलर की बस बना रहे हैं, ये सोलर की बस में ट्रेनिंग की फैसिलिटी रहेगी, डिमॉन्स्ट्रेशन की फैसिलिटी रहेगी, और मैं इसमें रहने की फैसिलिटी रहेगी. रहना खाना मैं इसी बस में करने वाला हूँ, और ये मेरी यात्रा रहेगी 11 साल की. तो मुझे उम्मीद है कि जितने लोग सुन रहे हैं जरूर ये फॉलो करेंगे, एनर्जी स्वराज को अपनाएंगे, अपना बिजली का कनेक्शन सरेंडर करेंगे, खुद को ट्रेनिंग करेंगे, और एनर्जी स्वराज को स्टेब्लिश करने में मदद भी करेंगे. So with this, I would really like to thank everyone for listening to me. I hope I have given you the picture that how there has to be new look at the energy and sustainability, how we cannot live with the energy model or the system that we have created, because this model is going to create a problem for us. Already it is creating in terms of global warming, but this model will also create a problem for our future generation. So let us be selfish. Let us all take care of nothing else, nobody else, but children and their children. At least do that and adopt to energy solution as soon as you can. Adopt to the solar energy as soon as you can, and let us come together and be a part of this moment. So with this, I would like to stop here. And once again, thank you very much for listening. and it will be my pleasure to take questions and help you out. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. It was indeed a great lecture. It is very inspiring one, and I said I can say this is the amalgamation of the technical as well as the spiritual aspect of the energy sustainability, because whatever you are telling comes instinct of yours, the idea, the conception which you are spreading for energy Swaraj really begins from that spiritual aspects of ours. So it was really very beneficial for all of us to hear. And you talked about many things: forest fires, increasing CO2 concentration levels, reducing water levels, and the world picture of changing climate you have shared. And you have what I really like about the session is the women, what which is the soul of the soul, I can say. The solar urja through localization for sustainability, that has been created a really very good example. And I have been following your energy Swaraj and LinkedIn and YouTube channels, and I have really very inspired when last year you have surrendered your connections, and you have put on a video in which you told that you have surrendered your refrigerator consumption and microwave and all. This is really inspiring. While talking about these things and not adapting, that doesn't create the impact. But when you are yourself creating an example by doing so, then people really need to be forced to think about this. And we are so happy to hear you, sir. A very motivational and inspirational lecture for me, and I think for all of the participants. We really want to be the part of Energy Swaraj, sir. Can you please brief in 5 minutes that how can the organization or the individual who are not from technical side but a layman, a normal people who are not stick to technical things, and I mean, if I want to communicate it to my spiritual relationships or my neighbors, my school colleagues, my relatives, so what can I do? What, how? One can be connected.
Yeah, I mean, so Niti, thank you very much. And I think the one of the major mistake that we make in our life, for example, every chair would have 4 legs, and if only one leg becomes bigger, and 3 legs remain shorter, the chair is going to fall. What most of the people are doing right now is only increasing their economic length of the chair. Of that, what has happened, that we have lost touch that we are part of the nature. We have to live with the nature, not by just using the nature. So it is very important to understand this bigger picture, that we are on this planet for 80 years, 100 years, but this planet has been here for millions and billions of years. So we are insignificant, and therefore it is important to go by the nature. Now, what everyone can do, that just become aware, how much you love your children. Forget about any other thing. We keep saying parents ki bachon ke liye padhai karana, aisa karna. We work very hard. But what is the point in creating we are creating for our children? So what is the point in doing that if you do not understand that that how we are ourselves affecting? I mean, I was giving example. People in the morning, I took a leave from my job, and people are saying, why you took a leave? I said I took a leave just to tell people and make them realize that we are behaving very stupidly. हम बहुत ही मूर्खतापूर्णक व्यवहार कर रहे हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, जो नेचर से मैंने एक एक्सरसाइज किया आज मॉर्निंग में, और आप जितने लोग सुन रहे हैं, यू ऑल कैन डू दिस एक्सरसाइज. एक काम करना, अपना नाक 1 मिनट के लिए बंद करना. 1 मिनट के लिए अपनी सांस रोक के देखना कितने लोग रहते हैं, है ना. मुझे लगता है 60-70% लोग तो स्वर्ग ही सिधार जाएंगे यदि 1 मिनट के लिए अपनी नाक बंद कर लेंगे. तो ये नाक में हम ऑक्सीजन ले रहे हैं जब से पैदा हुए, एवरी टाइम वी इनहेल, बट हैव यू एवर पेड अटेंशन दैट आई शुड जनरेट सम ऑक्सीजन? I should do something so that I should plant trees so that oxygen is generated. No, we have been ever taking, but we have never been giving. So that is a major misunderstanding that we have. अच्छा ऑक्सीजन ले रहे हैं वहां तक भी ठीक है, फ्री नेचर का फ्रूट ले सकते हैं, बट the water, air, soil, forest, everything that is support of our life is in a bad shape. आप गंगा के जमुना में नर्मदा में जाके एक ग्लास पानी पी नहीं सकते. How many of you would like to just take a glass of water from the river and take it? You can't take it. It's the base of our life. Forest cover 40% कम हो गया है. जंगल 40% जो लंग्स कहा जाता है, जो धरती के जो लंग्स हैं वो फॉरेस्ट में 40% कम हो गए. मूर्ख, इससे बड़ी मूर्खता क्या होगी कि जो हमारा जीवन का आधार है उसी कट कर रहे हैं, उसी को पॉल्यूट कर रहे हैं, उसी हवा को पॉल्यूट कर रहे हैं. सो देयरफॉर यदि हम इतना ही समझ जाएं कि वॉट एवर वी आर डूइंग इज एक्चुअली इन अ वेरी नेगेटिव व्यू ऑफ आवर्स ऑफ द वर्ल्ड without realizing what is the bigger picture, and as that we create a mistake and we steal from our own children. आपने पानी का टेबल कम कर दिया तो किसके हक का छीन लिया है? आपके आने वाले फ्यूचर जनरेशन का हक का छीना है. तो चोरी तो करते हैं, पर कम से कम अपने बच्चों से तो ना करें, अपने नाती पोती से तो ना करें. सो देयरफॉर जो हम बोलते हैं ना कि मैंने बोला शुरू में कि हम एक तोते जैसे सस्टेनेबिलिटी बोलते रहते हैं, पर उसको एक्चुअली समझते ही नहीं कि क्या चीज है. आप उतना ही कंज्यूम कर सकते हैं जितना जनरेट होता है. आपकी तनख्वाह मान लो 50,000 है और आपने 70,000 रुपए खर्चा करना चालू कर दिया तो 4-6 महीने उधार में काम चल जाएगा, पर आप तो ब्रेक डाउन हो जाएगा. जितना आप जनरेट कर रहे हैं उतना ही तो कंज्यूम करेंगे ना. एंड आई थिंक वी आर ओवर कंज्यूमिंग इन अ बिग मैनर, एंड दैट इज व्हाट वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड. तो एनर्जी स्वराज लाने के लिए कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं है. एनर्जी स्वराज लाने के लिए कुछ नहीं करने की जरूरत है. Can I live without रेफ्रिजरेटर? मेरे यहाँ से 1.5 साल से रेफ्रिजरेटर नहीं है ऑलमोस्ट. तो लोग पूछते हैं कि सर आप बिना रेफ्रिजरेटर के कैसे रहते हो? मैंने एग्जांपल दिया था. तो मैं उनको बोलता हूँ कि आपने भी 20-25 साल पहले ही सीखा है. आपके 7 पीढ़ियां रेफ्रिजरेटर यूज नहीं कर रही, isn't it? So we have just learned just now. अच्छा मेरे गांव में, मैं गांव से आता हूँ, मेरे गांव में 80 से 85% घरों में आज भी रेफ्रिजरेटर नहीं है, पर हर घर में गाय है या भैंस है, सबके दूध होता है. इसका मतलब यह है कि सबके यहाँ दूध फटता है, दूध खराब हो जाता है, ऐसा नहीं है ना. देयर आर वेरी सिंपल टेक्निक वी कैन लर्न टू प्रोटेक्ट आवर मिल्क. और दूध को बचाना सीख लिया तो सब्जी भाजी बचाना कोई मुश्किल काम नहीं है. सो व्हाट आई एम सेइंग इज अननेसेसरली वी हैव क्रिएटेड अ लाइफस्टाइल व्हिच इज किलिंग आवरसेल्फ. अभी जुलाई का महीना चल रहा है, बारिश नहीं हो रही ठीक से जिस एरिया में मैं हूँ, व्हिच इज रियली बैड. So what I'm saying is एनर्जी स्वराज लाने के लिए क्या करना है? कुछ नहीं करना है. क्या नहीं करना है? अननेसेसरी जो चीजों को अवॉइड कर सकते हैं अवॉइड करें. डू सम फिजिकल वर्क एंड इट विल हैपन. सेकंड थिंग क्या कर सकते हैं? व्हाई डोंट वी सरेंडर इलेक्ट्रिसिटी कनेक्शन? हमारा बिजली कनेक्शन कटवा सकते हैं क्या? और गर्व के साथ कहें कि मैं पॉल्यूशन का हिस्सा नहीं हूं, मैं सॉल्यूशन का हिस्सा हूं. हाउ डू यू बिकम पार्ट ऑफ द सॉल्यूशन? मतलब मैं जिस कैंपस में बैठा हूं ये 14 एकड़ का कैंपस है. यहाँ बिजली कनेक्शन 10 सालों से है ही नहीं. पूरा काम होता है, वाटर पंपिंग होती है, कंप्यूटर चलते हैं, लाइट चलता है, सब कुछ होता है. यू कैन ऑल्सो डू दैट. अभी एक आह्वान किया था तो मैं परसों एक खंडवा जाने वाला हूँ, वहां पे एक आश्रम है, उनके यहाँ का कनेक्शन काटने वाले. ऐसे कई लोग हैं जो आगे आ रहे हैं, परंतु हमें ऐसे लोगों की जरूरत है शुरू में जो थोड़े से खिसके हों, पागल टाइप के हों, क्रेजी हों. हाँ, नहीं तो बोले सर बिजली कनेक्शन कटवा लो तो कई लोग बोलेंगे पागल आदमी है क्या, मैं ही मिला था सुबह से तुम्हें, है ना. तो थोड़े से सनकी लोग चाहिए, और अच्छा काम थोड़े से सनकी लोगों से ही होता है ना. कई लोग बोलेंगे ये क्या सरकारी नौकरी छोड़ दी, इतना बढ़िया लाइफ आईआईटी बॉम्बे में सब है. तो थोड़े से जिसके पास सनक हो, जो थोड़ा सा क्रेजी हो अच्छे काम करने के लिए, ऐसे पागलों की जरूरत है हमें. तो नीति, सबसे पहला काम है एनर्जी स्वराज में ऐसे जो भी थोड़े बहुत पागल लोग, उनसे हमें कनेक्ट करवा दीजिए, वेबसाइट से कनेक्ट करा दीजिए energyswaraj.org. वहां पर सारा डिटेल मिल जाएगा. वहां पे पहले ही लिंक है, मैं एनर्जी स्वराज आंदोलन में कैसे जुड़ूं, तो यू गो टू द लिंक कनेक्टेड. तो एनर्जी स्वराज आंदोलन में जुड़ने के कई सारे तरीके हैं. आप घर में कनेक्शन कटा सकते हैं, आप डोनेशन दे सकते हैं. हमारा एक आंदोलन 11 साल का है, तो हमने एक चालू किया है कि आप 11 साल हमें सपोर्ट करिए, हमें कुछ ना कुछ कंट्रीब्यूट करिए. कितना कंट्रीब्यूट करना है आपके ऊपर. आप 1 रुपया देना चाहते हैं तो कोई बात नहीं, पर 11 साल 2030 तक हर महीने हमारे साथ जुड़े रहें, ताकि हम सब लोग मिलकर इस आंदोलन को खड़ा कर सकें और अपने आने वाले भविष्य को बचा सकें. आप हमारे साथ ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम कर सकते हैं। मैंने एक फ्री ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम किया है ऑनलाइन, वो बच्चों से करवा सकते हैं। ऐसे कई सारे ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम हम लाने वाले हैं। इस बार एक दिवाली पे ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम आएगा कि सब बच्चे अपना सोलर का दिया बनाएं। वो ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम आप यहाँ करा सकते हैं, सब बच्चे कराएं अपने घर के लिए। जितने दिए इस बार हम तेल का दिया ना जलाएं, इस बार सोलर का दिया जलाएं, वो आप खुद कर सकते हैं। ऐसे कई सारे काम हैं जो एनर्जी स्वराज से कर सकते हैं। उम्मीद करता हूं कि इतने एक्टिव जो आपका कॉलेज है और फैकल्टी हैं, ये सब लोग इससे जुड़ेंगे और हम सब लोग मिलके एक आंदोलन बनाएंगे।
Thank you so much, sir. We'll be looking forward really for this, and we'll be trying to connect it to Energy Swaraj and trying to connect more people about this noble and global mission, I can say. So there are a few questions from the participant
Sure.
side. Mr. Sandeep Tandon is asking which material you think is most suitable in PV cell as a part of semiconductor in terms of efficiency and why. This is
Well, I mean, read my books if you really want. There are online lectures available. But if you want to maximize the efficiency, then the material band gap has to be around 1.45 electron volt. Why 1.45? Why not less than that? So if you take the band gap less, you can generate more current but less voltage. If you want to keep the band gap more, 2 electron volt, 2.5 electron volt, you will generate more voltage but less current. But ultimately, we are interested in not just current and voltage, we are interested in maximizing the power generation. So if you want to maximize the power generation, you need to find the optimum between this two level, and 1.45 electron volt by the theoretical calculation found to be the most efficient. Which is also true, the gallium arsenide के जो solar cell होते हैं वो सबसे ज़्यादा efficiency के होते हैं. Okay.
Thank you, sir. There is one more question also. What is the impact of Energy Swaraj in the field of renewable energy?
Well, right now,
Anand
Energy
Stroll is
Swaraj,
asking.
right now, Energy Swaraj has a zero impact. It has not really reached because people are just realizing in the beginning to realize that we need something like Energy Swaraj. So basically, we need to create that ecosystem where everything can be localized. Now, when we try to produce, as I said, first thing you should do is avoid use of energy. Panel है तो भी avoid करो, नहीं तो बाद में recycling करना पड़ेगा ये. So when we do things in a systematic and planned and well thought of manner, I think we can live. होगा हम आराम से आने वाले सैकड़ों साल, हजारों साल तक human life रह सकती है.
There is one more question from Mr. Kaushal Nayak. Production of PV cell is sustainable, taking into account world population need, even if we reduce by one third.
Yes, very much it is sustainable because the most of the modules which are produced in the world today are from silicon, and silicon is the second largest material available in Earth crust. So there is abundance of silicon. So there is not going to be any shortage of the material as far as if the material is concerned. It will definitely be sustainable. Yes, world population is increasing, and that is not a good thing because not only the energy, but we need to be sustainable in water, we need to be sustainable in food, we need to be sustainable in the education, every other dimension also to be sustainable. So yes, if you do things, Gandhiji ne kaha tha, there is enough for everybody's need for the greed. So if you satisfy your needs, there is sufficient on the in the mother nature to feed everyone.
There is a question from Santosh Kumar Kandagal. He's asking, sir, is there any company or technology in India to manufacture or design solar cell?
Well, there are many companies which are making solar cells, not in a good quantities. I mean, not in a great quantities, but about 1,500 megawatt production of solar cells happens, and about 3 to 4,000 megawatt of solar modules are also being produced in the country. However, our requirements are 10, 20,000 megawatt, 30,000 megawatt. So, because our production is small as compared to our demand, we also need to import from outside. But the recent policies also encourages more production to happen in the country. and I think that will help to create more job and be more self-sufficient.
Manju Gupta ma'am is asking, have you planned for PV panel waste management policy?
Okay, yeah. Manju ma'am is asking, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Manju ma'am, how long you have been living in a concrete house? Have you planned for waste management of a concrete? Have you planned for the waste management of a car? Have you planned for the waste management of refrigerator? So one dwell nature of the humans, the दोगलापन जो हमारे नॉर्मली मनुष्य को होता है कि हम जो कुछ करते हैं उसके बारे में जीवन में कभी नहीं सोचा होगा, परंतु सोलर आया तो सबसे पहले लोग पूछते हैं, अच्छा सर रिसाइकलिंग का क्या होगा, अच्छा सर बारिश में क्या होगा, ऐसा क्या होगा, वैसा क्या होगा. ये वैसे क्वेश्चन है जो हम नॉर्मली नहीं पूछते हैं, पर जैसे ही सोलर की बात आती सब लोग एनवायरमेंटलिस्ट हो जाते हैं, सबको रिसाइकलिंग की पड़ती, सब लोग रिटर्न्स की चिंता होने लगती, तो सर पेबैक पीरियड क्या होगा, सर मेंटेनेंस का क्या होगा, जैसे कि जीवन में किसी का मेंटेनेंस किया ही नहीं हो कार वगैरह का. तो दिस आर दी क्वेश्चंस व्हिच आर राइट क्वेश्चंस but not asked from the right frame of mind. We have never asked this question to the mobile manufacturer कि बैटरी रिसाइकलिंग का क्या होगा. पर इनवेरिएबली हर सेमिनार में लोग मुझसे पूछते हैं, सर सोलर एनर्जी को स्टोर करने के लिए बैटरी लगेगी, बैटरी रिसाइकलिंग का क्या होगा. आई सरप्राइज कि अरे ये क्या हो गया अचानक, इतने अच्छे लोग कैसे सोचने लगे. बट आई वुड लाइक टू टेल यू दैट whether it is recycling of the battery or whether it is recycling of the panel, the ecosystem is, science is there already, technology is there, but complete ecosystem is not there because the volumes of the discarded panel, panel की लाइफ 25 साल होती है, तो जो 25 साल पैनल लगते थे वो बहुत ज्यादा क्वांटिटी में नहीं थे, इसलिए जब भी वॉल्यूम बढ़ेगा the recycling will also get established and should not be an issue to use solar energy.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. And one more question. Mr. N.R. Joshi wants to ask, what is the planning for this year Gandhi Global Solar Yatra 2020? Want to know the...
Well, this year, thanks to Corona or no thanks to Corona, we can't move. So जब तक कोरोना है तब तक हम बाहर नहीं है. जब कोरोना अंदर हो जाएगा, then I will start my Energy Swaraj Yatra. So it will not be global yatra. Mainly, I will be going around in the country. I will be going to talk as many people as possible. I'm going to demonstrate. तो मेरी बस में जो मैं रहूंगा, इसके साथ में एक ट्रक रहेगा. ट्रक में बहुत सारे टेक्नोलॉजी डिमॉन्स्ट्रेशन रहेगा, वो भी साथ साथ चलेगा. तो हम जब बात करते हैं कि एनर्जी का कनेक्शन सरेंडर करना है, बिजली का कनेक्शन, तो हम ये दिखाएंगे कि कैसे सरेंडर सोलर पे जा सकते हैं. तो आपके घर की जरूरी जरूरतें हैं वो कैसे सोलर पे चला सकते हैं, वो भी डिमॉन्स्ट्रेशन करेंगे. तो मे बी शायद नवंबर के बाद में, मिड नवंबर से ये एनर्जी स्वराज यात्रा चालू होगी.
Thank you, sir. People are asking as well as and there are comments from the participant also.
आपका
I
आवाज,
am crazy, so I must suggest.
Sorry, I could not hear properly. Can you repeat this last question?
Nair said, I want to join. I am crazy. So I suggest Ashish to join go to the Energy Swaraj website and connect it to you. And one more question.
Ashish, welcome to the group of crazy people. So welcome to you.
Vipin Kumar Tiwari is asking for the free online solar cell courses.
So there is a course that I've designed on learning how to design a solar home system, and this course is there are 15 videos are available Hindi और English में, और ये ऑनलाइन फ्री है. सोलर न्यूज एंड नॉलेज एक चैनल है यूट्यूब में, सोलर न्यूज एंड नॉलेज. तो यू कैन एक्चुअली गो टू सोलर न्यूज एंड नॉलेज चैनल, सब्सक्राइब इट. दिस कोर्स इज फ्री एंड दिस कोर्स इज फ्री ओनली टिल 15th of August. उसके बाद ये फ्री नहीं रहेगा. And there is a certificate also. If you go to the site and there is a quiz at the end of it, or if you do the quiz and get 60% marks, you can also get a free certificate. So this is one course which is of your background. So that is one free course that is available. And we are also designing more and more courses to make available to people.
Question from Praveen Kumar. How do you see the localization of production of solar like smaller production unit instead of large plants owned by some corporates?
Well, I mean, I have shown you an example of a module. So first of all, everything cannot be localized. So, for example, you cannot locally produce the LEDs. You cannot locally produce the silicon. You cannot locally produce solar cell, but you can definitely locally produce the modules. You can definitely locally produce the body parts. You can definitely produce the structure. So a lot of things can be done locally. So right now, the best combination of local and global is what is required. So people have been saying, think global, act local. So we need to really see what is the best technology available and doable at the local level. So if I need to produce, if I need to procure LED, I will take it from outside. But if I need to use the panel, I should not take it from outside because you can do it locally also. And the module manufacturing technology is actually pretty simple. It's just a laminating process with a very low investment one can start it. So that is one thing that you can start. In fact, Energy Swaraj Foundation has come up with the solar lab, solar toy lab for the students. And I think about 1 lakh rupees investment, you can actually set up a small size module lab in the schools and colleges, just 1 lakh. And you can make your own modules, which is used for toys and here and there. So that will also get a training that you can do that. So something which is simple definitely should be done at a local level. You can go for the details on our web.
Okay, thank you, sir. The one more question is from Aditya Kumar. He's asking about the PPTs. So I want to answer him on your behalf, sir, that this YouTube session is streaming live. So whatever you have covered has been available on. And if you want to share your PPTs, then I can share with the participants.
Absolutely, I can share with you my PPT, not a problem.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. I guess the questions are over now. I'm just checking if there are. Yes, it is another question from Rohit Pal. If the use of solar is too much, then why not government is giving subsidiary to everyone?
See, government, if you do a simple maths, Rohit, that government cannot give subsidy to everyone. I mean, simply do a maths that there are so many houses, and if you multiply with this kind of subsidy amount, it will be enormous. No government, however rich the government is, cannot give subsidy to everyone. So that's impossible for any government to do that. In fact, the government subsidies are actually not good because they are all rate limiting processes, and you can give subsidy to only selected people. 1,000 people, 10,000 people, 1 lakh people, 1 crore people. You cannot give this to 130 crore people, and therefore it's impossible that you can provide economic benefit. And it is true for India, it is true for America, it is true for Germany and every other country. So therefore, when we think of energy Swaraj, we have to go beyond the government or policies. मैंने कहा कि ये सरकारों के बस की बात नहीं है. जितना जल्दी हम इस तथ्य को समझ जाएंगे, उतना ही जल्दी जो बिगड़ रही सिचुएशन उसको अपने हाथ में लेंगे. यदि हमने अपने हाथ में नहीं लिया, so it will be out of control. It's already out of control. I mean, let me tell you that Siberia, which is a cold, very cold part of the Russia, temperatures in the Siberia right now is 10 degrees centigrade above the normal. Can you believe it? 10 डिग्री नॉर्मल से ज्यादा. तो यदि समर में हमारे यहाँ 45 डिग्री तापमान जाता तो 45 से बढ़ के 55 डिग्री हो जाए तो कैसा होगा? So this is how bad the situation is. Please realize that and do not wait for any other support. If you are going to wait for it, you are going to sink. There is no other way. If you want to take situation in your control, realize that this is already bad shape. We all have to work together. एक देश सिर्फ सफल हो जाए, एक परिवार सफल हो जाए, एक कंट्री से काम नहीं चलेगा. सब लोगों को दुनिया में एक साथ सफल होने की जरूरत है. तब जाके हम क्लाइमेट को सब लोग मिलके बीट कर पाएंगे. So So do not wait for the government or any other support. Do it yourself. Okay. I think that's enough for today.
Yes, sir. For being with us, and thank you from all the all the people of Department of SIRT and Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering. It's been a real pleasure and fortune. It's a pleasure for us to be with you here, sir. And we'll be looking forward to connecting to stay motivated to Energy Swaraj and the other guidance that we are seeking from you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. For
First, thank you very much. What is the first and foremost requirement to be part of the Energy Swaraj? Learn to live happy. Learn to live happy. Only happy people, happy mind can do something great. So first you be happy. वो सबसे बड़ा दुनिया पे एहसान होगा. आप खुश हो जाएंगे तो दुनिया को इससे ज्यादा किसी चीज की जरूरत नहीं. Or when you are happy, you will guaranteed to do only good things. You cannot do bad things when you are happy, right? So be happy first, and the Energy Swaraj will automatically come, isn't it? So when somebody asks how are you, don't say I am fine, okay. लोग दुनिया भर जीवन भर मेहनत करते रहते हैं और ओके और फाइन पे अटके रहते हैं. इतना बड़ा बड़ा पोस्ट पे चले जाते हैं, पूछो कैसे हो, आई एम ओके, आई एम फाइन. तो मैं बोलता हूँ हे भगवान, इतना मेहनत करके ओके और फाइन होना था तो ये सब क्यों किया? Isn't it? We do not work very hard. We do not work hard just to be okay or fine, right? We work very hard to be happy. So let me ask all of you, how are you all?
Sir, I am happy.
Very good. Keep that up. And happy minds can do great things, and only good things can be done by happy minds. So be happy. That is the greatest contribution that you can do in this world. So when anybody asks, just say I'm happy. Okay. So with that happy note, thank you very much for inviting me. It was really pleasure to talk to you, all of you. And I hope sometime we will see each other in person. So thank you very much, and bye-bye. Have a good day. Be happy.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
you, sir. Thank you.
So that's for now. We'll be connected tomorrow for our next session. Thank you, everyone.